What's up, Taiwan? Good evening. I'm Liao with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. President Tsai has met with a visiting delegation from Sweden's parliament. Although they're here in Taiwan, the meeting was held online. That's because the president is isolating after coming in contact with a family member with COVID. The group arrived in Taiwan on Sunday amid protests from China. Tsai thanked the group for their long-term friendship and support. The delegation leader, Boriana Ahlberg, said Sweden has much to learn from Taiwan, and the two countries will work together to defend democracy and freedom.
We are convinced that our visit will strengthen the bond between our two countries and show that we, the Swedish parliamentarians, are prepared to do everything in our power to defend the existence and sovereignty of Taiwan.
The Swedish delegation is just the latest to visit Taiwan. Despite the pandemic, there have been a number of European visits this year, which have resulted in unprecedented economic and trade cooperation agreements. Foreign Minister Joseph Wu spoke to TaiwanPlus's Divya Gopalan about China's wolf warrior diplomacy toward countries that go against its policies. Wu says Beijing's aggressive actions are helping turn European democracies toward Taiwan.
We saw that the resolutions are being passed by Ireland, by many other European countries, including Sweden. And now they are sending parliamentary delegations to visit Taiwan to show support. And I think these kinds of support are being seen by the Taiwanese people, and at the same time are being seen by the European audience. And therefore, there are more and more Europeans now understand that Taiwan is a very important partner and Taiwan's significance in their calculation. So this is the first part. And the second part is about China's wolf warrior type of diplomacy against the European countries. And the European countries now started to feel that it's enough for the Chinese government, especially the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to do that kind of thing to the European countries. And in comparison, Taiwan is so nice, it's a good force for good in the world. And therefore, there's an awakening movement in Europe in general, not just in Brussels, but also in other capitals. They think that they want to be in a position to do more business or to have more relations with Taiwan.
But they have succeeded, and as you call it, wolf warrior diplomacy, they've succeeded in economic intimidation for some countries when these countries look to engage to Taiwan. But Taiwan has a number of allies that have remained steadfast. Can you tell us the importance of that, particularly those diplomatic allies that have remained a support for Taiwan?
I would like to stress that we have 14 diplomatic allies, and every one of them is very important for Taiwan for several reasons. The first reason, of course, is diplomatic recognition. When they recognize that Taiwan is an independent country with the name, with the national title, the Republic of China, that is significant itself. That Taiwan is not a country that is not totally unrecognized by the international community. We still have countries recognize Taiwan as independent. And the second is international participation. This is probably more important than ever. It is difficult for Taiwan to participate in some international organizations, especially the UN-related international agencies. And for us to be able to have our voice heard, we need to have friends and allies. And these diplomatic allies are constantly speaking out for Taiwan to be able to participate in these international organizations, in the UN, in the WHO, in ICAO, and etc.
Now, with Russia's invasion of Ukraine, it's suddenly become much more tangible when you have an authoritarian neighbor that they could invade. What have our Taiwan's diplomatic allies been saying to you, or what's the messaging you're getting in terms of support, given now that this could be a very real, or at least a conflict in the horizon here in Taiwan?
Our diplomatic allies understand the situation Taiwan is in. Taiwan is being threatened by the big giant bully that is called China. And this is the same situation as Ukraine that is being threatened by a giant Russia. So the kind of situation has some similarities, even though Taiwan and Ukraine are very different from each other. And our diplomatic allies understand the situation Taiwan is in, and therefore they understand and they support Taiwan's endeavor in trying to provide support to Ukraine. And it's not just the Taiwanese government coming out in condemning the Russian actions or sanction Russia. It is also the general public.
Taiwan has released details of a new National Defense Handbook, which is aimed at helping the population in emergencies. That's against the backdrop of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which is changing how Taiwan would prepare itself for a possible conflict with China. Jaime Okan has the details.
This is Taiwan's first National Defense Handbook, a 24-page guide which covers topics like disaster prevention and what to do in case of an emergency. There are guidelines for natural disasters and even a foreign invasion.
手册是以民众需求角度为设想，包含紧急应变 QR code、防空避难、停电停水、医疗急救等资讯。
The guide comes as Ukraine is fighting off Russia's invasion. Taiwan's own authoritarian neighbor, China, has also been stepping up its military activity near the country. China considers Taiwan a breakaway province and has not ruled out the use of force to unify the island. Taiwan government officials have issued statements in recent months signaling a need for heightened preparedness across all ages.
各级学校应该要推动全民国防教育，这个部分要并且是实际的需要来纳入教学课程，实施多元的教学活动，是由教育部会同中央主管机关所订定。
With the handbook now online and available for everyone to access, Taiwan hopes its citizens will take the time to study its contents and better prepare for whatever emergency may come. Damon Lin and Jaime Okan for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan reported 663 new cases of COVID-19 on Tuesday, including 551 local infections. Despite the latest wave of the pandemic showing no signs of slowing down, the government is adjusting its policies to prevent major disruption to everyday life. Schools no longer have to suspend classes for all students when multiple COVID cases are reported. Authorities are also encouraging people to download the Taiwan Social Distancing app, which will help with contact tracing as case numbers continue to rise. The number of pet owners in Taiwan has increased, and so has the number of animals being abandoned. The government is now making plans to solve the problem, as Bing Wang reports.
This is Populace, a Japanese anime series that was so popular in Taiwan that led to a rise in people buying guinea pigs, hamsters, and other rodents as pets. But now, it seems the mousewarming is over. Owners have started abandoning their pets, unaware that these furry animals are fast breeders. And the government has had to step in.
从鼠出生到它性成熟，大概是35到40天，它就有怀孕的能力。那它每21天就可以生一胎，差不多1个月之后，它的小朋友也都可以开始帮忙一起生产。
The Rodents Care Association says over 1,000 abandoned rodents are under their care, with many more left to run wild, where they starve to death or are attacked by bigger animals.
他来到协会的时候是瘫痪的状态，就是他主要是脊椎这个地方有一个折到。
Owners of other animals, such as turtles, reptiles, and birds, are also abandoning their pets. And there are few regulations to control this.
因为物种这么多，也不可能通通管你，因为这也要兼顾到我们地方的行政量能跟所谓的商业的运作的实务。
To lessen the number of deserted animals, the Council of Agriculture is now putting plans in place to require pet owners to register certain types of animals. And hopefully with this new rule, these pets will have more of a Populace life. As Naya Zhou and Bing Wang for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. I'm Leslie Liao. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with footage of marine life bringing joy to Ukrainian children fleeing the war. Take care and see you next time.